Hi.
CJ, when you have so many guys that can make plays that you get the ball to, how much does that help you and the team?
Yeah, I think, spreading the ball around is great for everybody. I love seeing my guys make plays. And shout out to Jared, Jared Wayne for making 2 catches. His first 2 catches of his career. He's somebody who I came in with that worked very hard to get where he's at. And I'm just so proud of him, man, his faith in the Lord and just his continued faith in himself. But just the opportunity that he got, man, he took full advantage. So big shout out to him. Brax, shout out Big J No, Hig. We got a bunch of guys. Dalt. I'm probably forgetting some, but everybody balled.
Hey, CJ, how does it feel to have, I wouldn't say a complete game, but kind of, to control the clock for so much, all three phases?
Is it kind of?
Yeah.
Why kind of?
Because I know nothing's perfect, right? But
Yeah, I mean, but you gotta. It's hard to win in the league, man. I take it. No, yeah, I'm just saying.
Yeah, but to have a perfect game then, or whatever.
Yeah, I don't want to say perfect, but I would say we had a complete, 4 quarters, and I think that was the goal. Was to, control the line of scrimmage, run the ball, then use play action pass and other things to kind of balance it off. So thought we did a great job of that, but it really starts up front with the O line. Kales did a great job. Our tight ends did amazing. So I mean, those are ways you can possibly have a complete game. But yes, there's always things you can clean up.
CJ, you all did it, of course, without Nico, and you had talked about it like right after the game that maybe you wanted a little bit more on your shoulders. But what was the process like? What was the mindset like kind of coming into this week knowing that you wouldn't have him and that everybody else would have to step up?
Yeah, it's really hard, having just a dominant force like him, being out. But I thought, we practiced really good. And I think, that's the keys, like practicing good, and then you give yourself a chance to play good. But, yeah, you can't replace Nico Collins. He's a top 5 guy in this league. I think he's, one of the best. And even when he comes back, we got to find new ways to get him to rock. So, that's my job, to, give it to him. And I think, when he comes back, his force will be felt. But, I thought everybody really stepped up really big, and thought, especially in the run game.
Titus said last week that when you all come out and play fast, to start the game, that usually sets and dictates the way that you all are going to play for the rest of the game. What went into it this week as far as picking up the pace?
I just think, it's always good to get a little motivation. We didn't have our best outing, against Seattle. And I think, that was just motivation to, do the right thing. And I think that I always got to find motivation every week, regardless if we do good or bad. So I think, that was kind of like the, one of the keys. And I think every time you simplify it to, one play at a time, everybody doing their job, it kind of makes the game a little easier. And you don't have to focus on winning instead of just winning every play, then that ultimately gets you the win. So I thought we did that in that first drive and kept that going as we kept going.
DeMeco earlier said that today's one of your best games. How would you just overall categorize how you played today?
Yeah, I thought I played solid, thought I distributed the ball well, in pressure situations, getting it out of my hand. I don't think we had any sacks today, so I think, just me getting the ball in my hand on time definitely helped. Moving the pocket, but yeah, I would say I play solid. Always things to clean up, but I'm happy with how I played, and I'm always going to stay confident. And even when I lack confidence, like I was telling him outside, like I got God confidence. I'm not always going to be perfect. I'm not always going to be the best, but I will die on that field if I have to. I love playing this game. I respect this game, my preparation. I take it serious every week, and sometimes you just go lay an egg. So, I'm going to leave the past in the past, but I know what I can do. I know I'm a top guy in this league when I'm rolling. So, but, I just got to keep that going.
CJ, this week it seemed like the messaging from DeMeco was kind of a challenge to the players to just, hey, we've got the game plan, trust us, trust what the game plan is. Did you get a sense sometime this week that everybody was kind of locked in on exactly what you guys wanted to do this week?
Yeah, I think we're locked in every week. I thought even against Seattle we were locked in, and I just thought we just didn't play good. And then you look at Baltimore, Tennessee, we were locked in. Against Tampa Bay, against Tampa Bay we were locked in. It's like you give yourself a chance when you're locked in, practicing great. Now you got to go. Everybody probably does that in the NFL, but the teams who win are the ones who can execute on Sundays. So I think that's the key, where at least, especially offensively, defensively, of course, and special teams, we can take it up to another notch. It's just taking because I do think we're a focus group. I do think we have a crazy amount of effort. You can see how hard we play, everybody. Now it's just the execution from X's and O's wise and trusting what the coaches are doing and putting the positions we're in. So I definitely think that is where we need to take the next step and did that today.
Well, CJ, obviously, you all have to block out the outside noise, and you do that great. Every NFL team does. But how much confidence does it give you now to get over the hump and really start putting things together after a solid competitive game you had today and the result?
Yeah, I think, we give ourselves a chance each week. We keep winning. So this is a long league. I mean, it's a long season. It's a marathon. It's not a sprint. And if we keep stacking, who knows? We can do whatever we put on the field. So I think, today was a step in that right direction. Now, I'm going to go home, relax, get a little bit away from the game, and then tomorrow I'm back at it, rolling and, back with my preparation. So you got to be able to enjoy wins, but also, take the momentum, take the rhythm, and keep rolling with that.
How do you build on this win? Like, what elements from today do you want to carry over or incorporate into next week against Denver?
Yeah, I think practicing, that's key. Got to practice great, and I think we've been doing that for the last couple weeks. And then, taking it from the practice and put it on the field, kind of like I was saying, just execution. But, I think that's what it starts with, your preparation, film, being on the same page with the coordinators and with, your position coaches, and having conversation about, if this happens, I'm going to do this. That happens with your teammates. So that'll be key for, this next game against a good Denver defense.
And CJ, you have the trade deadline coming up. If there was one thing that you could add on this team to kind of make your job easier down the road, what would it be?
Yeah, that's not my job. My job is just to play, and I'll do that. If, my opinion is asked from, our front office, then so be it. But I trust Nick, I trust Miko, I trust our front office to do what we need to do, to get this team. Because I think we are very talented, so, but whatever that is, I trust what they're going to do.
CJ, two kind of quick questions. It really seemed like y'all never really had trouble at all throughout the game. I don't think y'all punted until late in the fourth quarter. At what point did you know that you all were really in a rhythm? At what point during the game? And then second, do you feel like using your legs more really helped get you going offensively?
Yeah, I feel like, I kind of wake up in the morning every day feeling like it's going to be my day. I don't ever, think opposite. I think because my preparation is, at a high level. And I think I can tell you really a play. I just think every play I kind of try to individualize it to, did I do my job this play? Did I do my job this play? And the pre-snap, doing the little things right. Post-snap, taking care of my eye discipline, my footwork, my ball placement. Of course, and I didn't ace that. I missed in some areas, but I think, the rhythm thing is like, are you just stacking plays, stack completion, stacking opportunities to get your playmakers the ball? And I think maybe the first drive we did that, maybe the second. I don't really know. I'm kind of just focused on every play. What was the second part?
Do you feel like using
Oh,
your
my legs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, if I can do it, I think cool. I think I don't know how many yards I ran for today, but I think I ran for a good amount. And, yeah, I think it's fun to me. Like, I like doing it. Learn how to slide this offseason. Shout out Clint. So I thought I had a good slide today. I almost got my head taken off, but got down clean. And, yeah, I like losing my legs. I think it's fun. So.
Hi, CJ, a couple of questions. What do you think this win says about where the team is headed this season?
Yeah, I think our destiny is in front of us, and whatever we do week in and week out is going to be it really is what we can control. We control. That's preparation, practice, hard work, dedication, relentless effort, swarming, and I think as we continue to do that, we'll be able to get some more dubs.
Okay, last question. What message do you have for Texas fans tonight?
Appreciate the support, appreciate the love. I just want to, be able to, give my all every week. And sometimes I do it, sometimes, it doesn't look as great, but I appreciate everybody, and their love. And I love Houston. I love living in the city. I love, just the camaraderie and the community that I'm in. And I'm just so grateful to be here and be in this position. And I think, our fans, they're showing up. and they're doing their thing, and I appreciate that because that really does help. Even in Seattle, like they were all out there. Then today, thought we were loud, and that always helps. So shout out, H-Town and the Texans. You have a good one. Thank you.
Appreciate it.